Emily and I do love a harvest toast. And we stayed last night at Fortress Beer Works, which can't be much more than, I don't know, 5 miles to where we lived when we lived here. So we showed up, there was already a rig here, and we were like, oh good, we'll have an extra person here tonight as a harvest toast. And by the end of the night, there were actually 6 of us. So it's good and spread out, but we were very surprised that there were 6 last night. It's a cool little place. They've got some outdoor seating over here. They have this, I think it's Fiamma, wood-fired pizza, which we had, and it was excellent. But they've got a lot of outside seating right here, and inside, quite a bit of seating as well. We found the beer to be good, but not something we're gonna take with us. We're actually heading to a little, like, county-run park down the road. We burned about 34% of our battery last night. I'm surprised that the heater uses as much power as it does. Yeah. So to run that fan, it's basically using like 100 watts. We'll be moving on to our next park shortly.
We're leaving our harvest house for the night and heading to Spring Creek in Tomball, Texas. It's a county-owned campground. There were quite a few campers last night, 6 in total harvest house at the Fortress Brewing, which is now 11 below. We had a really good stay. We spent the last week in Spring Creek Park, which is a public park in Harris County, Texas. It's a little bit different because it is public, so you do get a little bit of foot traffic, but they have 8 spaces. They're full hookups.
Every site has water, 30 amp, 50 amp, and a 110 outlet. Every site has a trash can next to it. All the sites are level and paved. Every site has a sewer hookup. The bathhouse is right there in front of spaces 4 and 5. And I'm outside right now, but a Bosworth is right there in the window.
So you can see they're fairly well spaced. We're in spot 8. And then if I pan this way, the Class A over there is in spot 1. So you've got a little bit of space. I would say that spot 8 is probably one of the better spots, just in that off to the side here you've got 2 very close picnic tables, and then out the back door, so it would be basically spots 6, 7, and 8. You have like just immediate access to this wide open space over here. There's kind of off in the distance, there's a grill and some picnic tables. There's plenty of employees that you see kind of going around their park, going about their day, working. So the park is very clean. We've seen them mow the grass, blow the leaves nearly daily. So it's very, very well kept. At night they close the gates from 10 p.m. to I believe 6 a.m. So you don't have like that nighttime people walking by in those hours. It is just the campers, and then at least one employee lives on site, so you do sort of have a camp host for emergencies if necessary. He lives in a house, it's in the back, so it's not near the campers, but you do have that reassurance of someone on the grounds at night. The most we've seen here are 3 campers, us and 2 others. There were a couple nights while we were here that we were the only people camping, so it was very quiet. And then during the day, because we're next to this little road, people do walk by with dogs. I mean, it is a well-used park. There's basketball courts and picnic tables. A lot of people, locals, walk by with their dogs. So you get to see and meet quite a few people. And then just straight, the entrance is just straight here. He was saying this is the Boy Scout camp. And then there's a couple of trails off of this.
We are out for a morning walk. It is like 10 degrees out. It's like 40 degrees out. Before we got to this park, we stayed at Fortress Beer Works, which is a cool little harvest host, and they had, I'd say, really good pizza. Here we have a basketball court
And a playground.
and a bunch of picnic areas.
Oh, Nick and I were just talking about it, and this is kind of one of the only places besides Cherry Creek in Denver that we stayed that are really close to like a downtown area or a city. Most of the time we stay kind of far away. It's kind of fun to note that there's basically everything within about 2.5 miles. There's a Costco, there's a H-E-B, there's a Kroger, Target, Lowe's, Home Depot, like you name it. Amazon lockers.
Yep.
So it's really nice to have super easy access to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then like we're not from this area, but we lived in this area 10 years ago, and so we knew like certain things that we wanted to go stop in on. And even though that was a 30-minute drive, it's a 30-minute drive because it's all city driving.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. It's like 5 mile, or not 5, but
7 or 10.
It's 10 miles from here, but it's 30 minutes of driving because it's all city. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I love a 30-minute drive for 10 miles. I'm just saying, like, generally we're not in an area where you have access to a mall and whatever.
Moving on to our tour, this is one of the, so there's a parking area, and then there's a couple of trailheads, and the trails are marked fairly well, and they're short trails, but what we realized is that they all kind of interconnect. So if you wanted to make, a couple mile loop, you could. So we're gonna head down this trail for just a couple of minutes, and I somehow lost Nick. There he is. So right now it just kind of parallels the parking area, but then it'll dip back a little bit. There is an archery range. During the week we've seen quite a few people down here, so that was kind of cool.
I think one of the interesting things to note is it is like a Boy Scout camp.
Oh, there's people coming on the trails. A lot of the places that we have been to recently have frisbee golf. So Nick and I were saying maybe we should take up frisbee golf. I don't know. I'm a pretty bad shot, so I doubt it. But
I feel like probably 30 to 50% of the places we stay have a disc golf. And
So-
it just seems like maybe we should have some.
this is part of the course. And then pretty wide open spaces, which is also part of the course, but our paper towel holder, while it worked great for a little while, has wiggled its way loose and is no longer working for us. So I used some heavy duty 3M tape to stick this up there, and the mounting plate is still there. The design was pretty bad because the screws to tighten the drop down is on the other side of the mounting plate, so there's no way for us to tighten it. We did get a new paper towel holder, which hopefully is a tad better design, as this is all one piece, and it should hold up slightly better. So I'll let you know how that works out for us, but right now I am trying to get this thing off of here. Nick is on a conference call, so I'm trying to be very quiet. I went ahead and mounted the tape on the outside. Alright, so it's all mounted now, and it's the ratcheting kind, so it shouldn't come unraveled when we are traveling. And this is all one piece here, so we shouldn't have the issue of it breaking off. The 3M very high bond tape that I used does have the foam in it, but it is slightly it's not as thick as the previous one because we ran out of that one, so I don't think it'll make a difference. It seems to be holding just fine. This is the wiggle from the paper towel holder itself. It's not wiggling up here, and I did mount the tape on this side in case we do have to remove this again. We can stick the sharp edge here and it'll hopefully remove a little bit faster. But I'm very, nope, you don't. The hair dryer trick kind of worked. I mean, it didn't kind of, it worked. It just took a while to heat up the metal, and then once the metal heated up, it came right off.
I was on a conference call. I didn't participate at all.
He was moral support, and apparently everyone on the conference call watched me mount a new paper towel holder. After this, we're heading to Brenham, Texas for a harvest host. And then we're going to keep going further west and head over to Lockhart State Park. Thanks for watching.